Welcome to the Cisco 640-816 ICND2 exam prep course. My name is Greg Dickinson, and I'll be leading you down the yellow brick road that is Cisco certifications. And speaking of Cisco certifications, let's take a few minutes here at the top of the video and talk about the various levels of Cisco certifications and what you can do with the course you're about to undergo. This course, like I mentioned, is for the ICND2 exam. That is Cisco exam 640-816. This course is one of two recommended courses for the CCNA certification, the other being this ICND1, the 640-822 exam prep. If you're going for your CCNA, which I recommend you do, there is an option to take one combined exam for the CCNA. That is the 640-802 exam. Now, there is not really a 640-802 exam prep course, because the 802 exam covers the same material that's on the 816 and the 822. It's just all on one combined exam, so you only have to sit for one test. Now, some of you might think, oh, well, I'll take the 802 exam, and that way I only have to pay for one exam. Cisco thought of that as well. The 802 exam costs twice as much as either the 816 or the 822, so you're not going to save any money, but you will save yourself some stress and heartache and headache. When I got my CCNA, I opted for the combined exam. And honestly, I couldn't imagine sitting through two of those exams and having to bite my nails and give myself ulcers over whether I'm going to pass two. One was bad enough. Now, Cisco has different specializations for their CCNA certifications, and they've got them all listed there: routing and switching, design, security, service provider, storage networking, voice, and wireless. Each of those specializations require the CCNT, or the 640-822 exam, as the stepping stone. You can't go get a CCDA, Cisco Certified Design Associate certification, without having the CCENT first. Now again, this course is not for the CCENT. You want the 640-822 for the ENT. This is the second half of the ICND courses, which gives you the CCNA. Each of these specialized exam tracks have different exam requirements for the specialized certification tracks. Now, some of them do overlap. I believe some of the routing and switching and design exams overlap at the CCNP level. But for the most part, each of these certifications are different enough that Cisco says all that's required is the CCENT, so you basically know what a router is and how to console into it and what the different commands do. And I always like to end these slides with the pyramid of Cisco certifications. Everything from the CCENT down here, which you get with the 640-822 exam, all the way up to the CCA, which I don't know if there's an exam or not, but essentially you go before a board of other CCAs and explain to them why your architecture is better than the architecture that they came up with, and they try to pick holes in it. It's kind of like a doctoral thesis, if you will, for Cisco certifications. Most networking professionals tend to gravitate towards the CCNP level because anything above the CCNP level, the expert and the architect, requires a practical exam. Those practical exams are very expensive and very nerve-wracking. Now, I do know a few people that's gone for the CCIE level, and they've told me that it wasn't nearly as bad as they thought it would be. I'm honestly kind of scared off just because of the cost involved. I would kick myself if I spent a few hundred or a few $1,000s going to take the CCIE exam just to fail it by 10 points. Now, these Cisco certifications build on one another. You have to have the CCENT before you can get the CCNA. You have to have the CCNA before you can get the CCNP. However, you don't have to have the CCNP before you go for the CCIE. You can go book the CCIE written exam and go take it right now if you want to. And if you pass the written exam, then you could go for the practical and get the CCIE without having any of the other lower level certifications. However, unless you deal with Cisco equipment day in and day out, live it, breathe it, know it like the back of your hand, it's very unlikely that you're going to pass that CCIE practical exam without having the experience of the previous level's exams. And that concludes our brief overview of Cisco certifications. Stay tuned where we talk about the course overview.